What is up? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button, and if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this conversation. Nothing else that comes out about any of your faves, any of the upper echelon, the A-list, whatever titles or labels that they're given, should surprise anyone anymore. Yeah, the rumors have been out about Diddy for years, about his definitely zesty ways, I'll just put it like that, and even more so about his snake ways when it comes to how he handles business and how he handles his label mates, his signees, his artists, or whatever they were or whatever they are. I don't know if we can even say that he has anyone anymore, because honestly, everything about him for the past several years has just pretty much been him being placed up on a platform, making him seem as if he is some creator or a business owner, when he indeed has not even really been anything more than a glorified brand ambassador when it comes to the liquor. I talked about that before. When it comes to the deal and how it was exposed, where he doesn't own the company, he was actually supposed to put in some money and he only put in $1,000. But then he wanted to sue for racism. Now, we know multiple things can be true at the same time, and it is very well a possibility that the people that he was working, I will say for, if not with, had some racist ways, racist tendencies, some systemic racism in their company and all that different stuff like that. But it doesn't take away the fact that he has been a monster. Everything that has been exposed about him when it comes to Cassie, and now the things that are coming out about all of the events, I will call them, because I'm quite tired of the phrase freak offs. I don't even want to say that anymore. It's not old. I'm just sick of hearing about it. But all of those things that have come out about him, it's just like nothing else that comes out about any of these other people will surprise me in the slightest at all. None of them. Because one, we don't know any of these people personally. So when people want to try to defend their favorites, even the likes of Jay-Z and Beyonce, I don't know any of these people. I never will. So I'm not going to sit and defend them. I wouldn't slander them either, but I would not be against saying that I wouldn't be surprised if they were either involved in some things or they indeed knew about some things. So this industry publicist has come out to expose a lot of people, from definitely the Diddy, but to the Jay-Z, to the Drake, to the Rick Ross, DJ Khaled. I'm going to play a little bit of what he had to say, and get your pens and papers.
There's a lot of people saying that Jay-Z, like you said, is next. Do you believe Jay-Z is next, though?
I do.
But how, in what sense? Do you think that they will allow a person like Jay-Z to be taken from his position? Because it looks like they're clearing Diddy's spot to give it to him.
That's a good point. But I think what you should look in, and maybe flash the lyrics on the screen to that, is the song that he did with Foxy Brown on his debut album, and which was in 1996. She was a minor, and listen to the content that a grown man is having with a minor, and just read the lyrics. It's "Ain't no player" is the clean version, and the explicit version is "Ain't no N-word." And this is an adult doing a song with a minor think she was 14, 15, 16 at the oldest, with that kind of lyrical content is absolutely crazy.
Even Nas, and you can say Nas was just dissing Jay-Z, but Nas specifically stated that Jay-Z and R. Kelly were doing the same thing with the same girls that were at the studio together, you know, and that's a strong accusation. But let's be honest, it's like what they're saying now about Drake. Oh, Drake's into the minors. If you have been following Drake, Drake loves to rap about hooking up with 18, 19, as young as he can. That's what he legally states. But if you're aiming for an 18-year-old at 36, you're not going to compromise at a 17-year-old, a 16-year-old. It wouldn't matter. It's the same thing. What's the difference between a 16 and an 18-year-old besides the fact that they're legal? But they're both still teenagers, and they're both still extremely young and undeveloped, mentally at least, you know?
Okay.
And would you say that there's another P. Diddy in the industry or more P. Diddy's in the industry from your time at the industry?
P Diddy he's a one-on-one. Like the fact that we call him P Diddy and, you know, Puff Daddy and Puffy and Sean Combs and all the different variations. He's a one-on-one with like his like level of freak offs. And his was like, he did it for so long because he's doing it out in the open. You know, he's got a 40-foot bed in his backyard and people are, you know, jumping on it. And he's having these freak off parties with like a lot of people involved. And then they got bigger and bigger. Like they found, you know, thousands of bottles of like lubricant, literally.
Baby oil.
Yeah. So like, I think he was just all out in the open. Like, you know, I can do whatever I want. I think the other people that are doing it are much more careful, much more calculated, and are much more wicked.
So they're in there. That's exactly my question. My question is there more people that you believe
yes,
that are still behaving like Diddy, but understand this?
And I would say with what I do know for a fact, not alleged, but DJ Khaled is bisexual. And Jay-Z has also participated in bisexual activities.
Would you want to say allegedly for your safety?
There's no, I would say allegedly if it was allegedly. DJ Khaled 100% has been involved in, he's bisexual. I did a show called One Shot and he was in Miami and he was open with the guy that he was with. He was gay. And I don't understand what happens there where, because nobody said anything to me like, hey, make sure you don't, you know, go out and say this on record. Make sure you don't say this, da-da-da-da-da. So it's weird that would still be hidden. That seems like that should be a fact that DJ Khaled, at least in 2016, was definitely bisexual.
Okay, and
and Jay-Z is without question bisexual.
Okay, I agree with you. I know
Jay-Z's mom is gay.
Jay-Z's mother?
Yeah, she's gay openly.
Okay, I'll have nothing against any person's preference, but in the industry, they like to hide this, specifically in hip hop. They're trying to make this normal now. They're trying to push it on so it can be more accepted within the hip hop community. But the reason why they would want to keep this from the public is because they're pushing this gangster, you know, tough guy, manly of all men persona. And if it were to come out that they were not the manly of men, so I think that's the reason why they hide it. But I 100% believe that these people are bisexual, gay, and I believe that, like I said, the Freemasons, they don't see themselves as men. They see themselves as gods. That's what the 33rd degree literally represents. It represents enlightenment. It represents reaching the level of a god. And most people will say that God is genderless, even though in Christianity, God is a man, essentially a man type of being. But in the Kabbalist way that they look at these things, they see man and woman as one. It's called the great androgyne. If I'm mispronouncing it, I'm sorry. But it's alchemy in the sense where the femininity and the masculinity come together to create one being, which is a god. And that's literally what Masonry teaches. So I wouldn't be surprised if 90% of these people in the industry at the level of Jay-Z, Drake, Kendrick Lamar, Kanye West, all of these people at the top, if they're into this kind of thing, because I personally believe, and I've personally proven hundreds of times, that you just cannot get to that level without being a part of that club. Would you agree with that?
I definitely would.
This publicist, he knows a lot. He does not strike me as an opportunist. He doesn't strike me as someone who is a liar. I believe every single word of it, and I'm not here to sit in defense of anybody, not even him, because I don't know him either, but I don't believe that he has anything to hide for these people. If anything, him being a publicist, it would be more so in his benefit to not come out here and expose anyone. He's risking a lot by doing what he is doing, and I pray God covers and protects him. I mean, it's not even about exposing them for the sake of salaciousness, rubbing our palms together to say, "Ooh, look at what we know about this one now." Because yeah, we could easily sit and say, well, it's their personal business. It's nobody's business what they do behind closed doors. But a lot of these people are liars, and this industry is really dark and demonic. I know that I've heard a lot about it for years. One of my clients actually years ago, she used to date someone who was in the industry in terms of production, not someone who was, I should say, in front of the screens, on camera, or on the mic. But she told me a lot about the demonic things and that goes on in that industry. And over the years, things have maybe evolved a bit more where they're a bit more in your face with things now, but still hiding stuff. But many years ago, things used to be more hidden, more undercover. And then when you were younger, you weren't really listening to the words of the music. You were just really listening to the beat, the way it sounded. It made you feel good. It made you dance or whatever. And now, even back then, some of the words, when you become adults and you look back and you listen to some of the words, it's like, oh my God, I didn't know they were talking about that. But now, the way things are more overt than they are covert like they used to be. And when he was talking about the androgyny, my mind, even though I liked Prince's music, again, I'm no idol worshiper of anybody, so I'm not going to sit here and act like what wasn't. Prince, he lived an androgynous lifestyle. You know, he could wear pumps and heels and look more feminine and sometimes masculine and whatever, but it was, I believe too, that androgyny, it's a belief that a lot of them have or had to become familiar with and become okay with in that industry. Because when you hear a lot about the sexual acts that were going on and the rituals and all of those things, you know, sometimes you want to wonder, why is it that everything is about sex? Why is it? I don't even want to go and delve that deep into it, but a lot of it has to do with that androgynous stuff and them feeling like they're gods, and God is not a man, and God isn't a man per se in terms of human flesh form. But a lot of them, they feel like they're gods. Like, think about it. Jay-Z called himself Jehovah. How blasphemous can you be? Jesus can't save you. Life starts when the church ends. That's what he said. You know, and there's a whole lot of other things that have been said. I just, you know, even the song that he did with Kanye West, No Church in a While, you know. And there's no God to an unbeliever who don't believe in anything. Like, it's a lot of darkness in that industry. I know that there is so much more to come. So much more people are going to be exposed. And I'm not going to be surprised by anyone or anything, whether it is in entertainment, whether it is in politics, whatever it is. I am not going to be surprised by it. Because I don't idolize and worship any of these people. So they don't have nothing to give me. Nothing at all. I'm not going to be heartbroken if it comes out that some of these people that you thought was the straightest arrow was just as gay as the day is long. It is what it is. Those are the things that they chose, because a lot of these people, they really do believe that they are going to live forever and that they worship the god of the world, which is satanic, which is money, which is mammon. It goes deep. So guys, you let me know your thoughts about this. This is just getting started. Thanks for being here, liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.
Inside all this tension